this is relevant to anyone who is trying to lose weight or who has the excess belly fat. So when you have that big glucose spike, your pancreas is releasing all this insulin to help you soak up the glucose out of the bloodstream into the cells so it can be processed and bring the glucose back down. And what can happen there in the short term is that if you've got a big spike, so that big up and down, the insulin can actually sometimes overshoot. It can actually do too good a job in soaking up all that glucose. And you can have what's called reactive hypoglycemia, which colloquially is known as the post-meal crash. So if you've had lunch and then after lunch feel tired and you want to have that second cup of coffee at 1 p.m. and maybe you feel a little bit more anxious, that might just be the fact that your blood sugar has gone up. You've released all this insulin. The insulin's kind of overshot. You've crashed down and now you're in this dip and the body's trying to get back into balance. And that roller coaster with
that creates
insulin,
a secondary cascade of hunger hormones,
cravings
and
exactly. And so that's happening in the short term. And then that insulin process, going back to what we were talking about before, can over time lead to that insulin resistance where the cells see that huge surge in insulin so frequently that they actually say, we can't keep doing this. You know, this is too much insulin and we get numb to it. And that's insulin resistance. And then what happens is your insulin levels, they start creeping up because your body's trying to overcompensate for that block by producing more. And then that leads to so many of the downstream conditions that, you know, we've been talking about. When you've got this high insulin, one of the secondary effects of that, we can talk about obesity. You know, insulin is a signal to the body that glucose is around for energy. And it's also a signal to the body that because there's so much glucose around, we don't need to use fat for energy. Glucose and fat are the two main ways that we produce energy in the body. And when that insulin's high, it blocks us from tapping in to fat burning. It says to the body, nope, you don't need to tap into fat burning. We've got a bunch of glucose around. And so this is relevant to anyone who is trying to lose weight or who has the excess belly fat, because that insulin is a real block on helping us achieve those goals.